I'm Tim, welcome back to the Restoration Couple. We are up at Joe's sister's place again, and I'm going to be tackling the cellar, the next stage of that, and a few other bits. So stick around and I'll show you how I get on. So one of the many things I want to fit in today is getting the flooring down, because that needs to happen fairly early on. And I picked up this remnant from a carpet place near us. It was only £30 for the whole roll, and there's plenty there for the whole room. I've also brought up some good thick underlay, and we've got the DPM to go down. Alright, let's see how we're looking from last week. So it's been 3 or 4 days since I was up last, and we painted. I ended up painting the stairwell, which you saw at the end of the last video, and we still need to do the brick steps, but I think we can do that once the carpet's laid. That's alright, it's looking pretty fresh down here. A little bit up here, well, that coloration has come through, but again it's not particularly damp, it's probably just old staining that's made its way through. What I didn't want to do is turn up here for day 2 this week, paint in the morning, and really not be able to do anything else, especially carpeting, for the rest of that day. So what I did is ask Naomi if she could do another coat, a final coat, and she's managed to do that. All the walls are now dry. It's been a day or 2. Ceiling's had another coat as well. Now when it comes to dehumidifiers, I'm no expert at all on them. We've never even owned one, because for us it was more a case of just improving the ventilation and airflow in our cellar. But from what I've been reading, there are 2 types of dehumidifier, and if you're trying to keep a cellar dry, the conventional ones, which I think are more like a compressor style, are no good in cold temperatures. There's science behind that, which I have no idea about, but they don't work efficiently and they're just too cold to work. Whereas the other type, which I'll try and put the word there, starts with a D, I think, decadent, anyway, I think they're better, perhaps a little bit more expensive, but they're much better in a cold environment. Just a little pointer. It's got some water in it though. So I've given the floor a good clean, and I've also gone right into the corners, because it appeared that there used to be a carpet here before. There was evidence of a little bit of gripper rod left on that side, and there's some nails down here. Now they've clearly gone straight down into the concrete, and the nails, they were holding okay, but they perished a little bit, but the wood had gone soft, and that's probably why they ripped the carpet out. So we're going to put our gripper rods on top of the damp-proof membrane, and that'll just give them a little bit more of a chance of lasting. And like I said in the last video, this is just a short-term solution really, or a simple solution. The walls are being tanked with a liquid tanking fluid, but really if this was going to be done in a really thorough job, we'd dig out the floor and lay a new damp-proof membrane, insulate, new screed, and the walls really, if they're not going to be breathable, then the best thing for it is to use like a tanking membrane, which is off the wall slightly, and it's kind of a moulded plastic, and then at least the walls can drain, whereas here it's completely trapped in there, which is no good really for the brickwork. But anyway, do the best we can here. And although we've got a really thick underlay and thick carpet, any of the little lumps and bumps I'm knocking out, all they are drips from when whoever plastered this ceiling is just drip plaster everywhere. So we'll tidy all that up. I'm happy with that. I think it's time to get the membrane down, and we can get started on the carpeting, which is one of my least favourite jobs. bung a little bit of basic no nails type adhesive down, and then you can stretch it out a little bit. Well, not stretch it, but flatten it out and get the gripper rods down. This seems to be working pretty well. It's quite hard to stretch it out, and you can't roll or brush it out like you would a vinyl because it's just not that sort of material, but it's pretty flat now. I think those blobs in the middle have helped. Okay, underlay time. Underlay. So this underlay is the 11mm stuff, the really thick Cloud 9 stuff, and then I think there's enough to do the majority, but I've also found another small offcut. I think that's the same thickness. So we're going to get that down. The only thing is you can't staple it down, so I don't know what they do on concrete floors. I assume spray adhesive or double-sided, which we can do. I think I brought some with me. So we'll get that fitted, then we'll have a lunch break, and I'll get some carpet down. I think this is going to be alright down here. It's not that noisy. So the main walking area is pretty much silent. There's a little bit right at the edge over here where you can hear a little bit of the plastic, but that'll be dampened down a bit by the sound of the by the thickness of the carpet as well, I hope. Right, now we're going to try and get that carpet around that corner. Oh, it's not too bad. 0.95. Oh dear. Surely that's wide enough. Please be wide enough. Oh, phew. Right, time to switch to the other camera. Speed up the next 10 minutes. So it makes it look like actually 45 minutes, hour, 2 hours. To make it look like I know what I'm doing, but actually carpet laying, it's not my forte. But we should be able to get a good enough finish in here. There's no major cutouts. The only thing I struggle with is the little kicker I've got is horrendous. It doesn't have any dampening or cushioning at all. So you're basically just whacking your knee against a piece of metal and that much foam. So I'll be limping out of here. Right, got my knee bruiser, bolster, cue the time lapse. was not enjoyable. Now to the camera, this probably looks okay, but I can tell in the corners there's a little bit where it's not as tight as it can be. But I'm at a loss really. Like I said at the beginning, because we're using that 11mm thick underlay and on top of that plastic and standard grippers, I think the underlay is just so thick that the carpet, I'm really struggling to get it to grip down onto the grip of the other side of the underlay. Anyway, it's touching all the edges, it's tucked down behind it, and it's gripping on where it needs to. And it's not going to be walked through lots, so I guess worst comes to worst, we can just go around and tighten it up after a few weeks. But anyway, there we go, my knees survived. So apart from the fact there's fluff everywhere, we'll call that job done. I'm going to wrap up this video here simply because that one kind of just covered getting this flooring sorted. Now of course, before anyone comments, I'm going to say it again, if you're going to do a cellar properly, you would dig everything out, you dig down, get more height, that way you could insulate, re-pour or screed and you'd be fine. Because this has already had like a bitumen slurry tanking on it, we're just working with that for a quick and easy solution. So that's why we've put down the sheet. The floor wasn't damp anyway, but plastic down there for belts and braces, then the underlay. And we've probably added about 15mm height on by the time it's standing on it and it compresses, so we're just about getting away with it. Fear not, there'll be another video on the way shortly. I'm just going out now to pick up the materials needed for the next phase, which is going to be to start building the cabinets. But I'll explain more about that in the next one. So if you enjoyed the video, give us a thumbs up. If you haven't subscribed, you can do so below. But apart from that, thanks for watching. Remember, if you can, do it yourself, and we'll see you next time. Well, I wouldn't have wanted to lie here a week ago. At least it's dry. Takes the chill off. But I couldn't do that every day. My back is killing me. Respect to all you carpenters. And come and do ours next time.